Hello everyone! Thank you so much for tuning in to watch my video. Today is a video that is going to be in answer to a viewer's question. Her name is Miss Karen, and Karen, I thank you so much not only for your donation to my Ko-Fi, but also for your question, because this is a question that I feel like kind of gets lost in the shuffle a lot. I talk about how and why I journal, but I really don't go into super depth about the different things that I journal about and why I journal, and like the really nitty-gritty of it. And I think that's what I'm going to do today. So I've made some notes, and I've got my coffee. That was hot. Yeah. I hope the new lighting is not too overpowering. I just took off a rose infused mud mask. My 15-year-old daughter and I are both kind of delving into K-beauty, and we're just trying to make our skin more radiant. So I'm kind of like shiny right now. So thank you, ring light. But anyway, let's get down to it. So I've talked about this a little bit before, about how long I've been journaling. I've been journaling seriously for about 2.5 years. And when I'm done with, when I have, 38, well, I'm working on volume 38 right now. I have 37 completed journals, and what do I plan to do with them when, I've got 100 or more? Sometimes I think I want to send them to the Journal Museum in the UK. Sometimes I think I want to like go back and rip all the photos out of them and keep them, and then just burn the journals. I don't know, that changes often. I was asked by another viewer once, do I ever see myself no longer journaling? And from a standpoint of someone who lives with mental illness, no. I have been able to wean off of certain very strong, very powerful antipsychotics because I'm able to work myself out in my journals. My psychiatrist, she says I'm the poster child for journaling. She tries to encourage all of her clients to journal. She's even recommended my channel before, and not everybody kind of picks it up and runs with it the way I did, but it kind of fed into another part of my mental illness, which is my obsessive compulsive disorder. It sort of snowballed into my OCD as far as like a hypographia. Now I can't stop, but I don't know that I would want to stop. It's not something that I can see myself going a whole day without doing. Could I do it? Like go a whole day without journaling? Yeah, I can go a whole day without doing a lot of things. Do I want to? No, because it means so much to me. Those pages that I fill up with fountain pen ink and little silly pictures and stuff like that, those pages are special to me in a way that nothing else in the world is. Those pages are the chronicles of my life, and they are a way for me to really know that I'm here, and that I was here, and that I existed. And in the future, who knows what's gonna happen in the future. Those journals are the record of me and my family and what we've been through and what we go through. And I journal about my family members. I journal about things that we do that are, common to do in 2021, 2019, 2022, all that. Sorry, my nose is itchy now. I sprayed on some rose water toner that I made afterward with witch hazel and rose water, and now I'm itchy, a little itchy. All right, so there's that. Now, what sort of journaling do? I do stream of conscious journaling or long form journaling, which means that whatever's in here gets written out exactly how it is in my head. So if I was writing in my journal right now, I would be writing out whatever is in here gets written out exactly as it is in my head. Is if I'm talking, that internal conversation that you have in your mind, that's what I write. And some people would be truly amazed by what can happen when you stream of conscious journal or long form journal, when you don't just try to hit the highlights of your day or try to tackle hard-hitting questions, when you just write out what exactly your brain is doing and thinking in that moment. It can be an overwhelming experience, a joyful, overwhelming experience. Also, sometimes, because I do experience bipolar highs and lows and severe depression, sometimes it can be rather scary too. Maybe one of these days, if there is any interest, there are some areas that I've marked off in some of my journals where I was incredibly low, and what came out of my pen was like nothing I had ever thought in my head or experienced. It was almost like automatic writing, which, if you're not familiar with, automatic writing is something, a tool, or it depends on how you look at it, but it was a way that people used way back in the days to try to have a medium communicate with spirits. I don't know what I believe. I'm 40 years old. I know I believe in God and I love God and I believe in the Holy Spirit. I believe there's a lot of things here that we're not particularly in tune with, but maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing, but there have been some times where I was in tune with something and I just let it go. And then at the end of the time when I was journaling, after I put my pen down, I would go to sleep or wake back up and I look back at my writing and I literally, who in the hell wrote this? Because that wasn't me. Sometimes it's kind of scary. Sometimes it was something like wonderfully prolific. But that's something that I've experienced with, stream of conscious and long form. So there have also been times before when I have experienced or been in the midst of experiencing a really bad anxiety or panic attack, to the point where like you don't even know if you're real. Like, am I asleep right now? Am I dreaming? Am I real? Well, having my journal with me and knowing what to journal and what prompts to use, and feeling the feeling of having the pen in my hand and the feeling of holding my journal in my hands, and even the feeling of just like clutching it all close to me, that's something that has helped me in so many times, in so many ways. I've even been to the point where I was so dependent on my journal that I would sleep with it, like right next to me. I needed to be touching it because sometimes it is my touchstone to make sure that I actually exist, because sometimes, being that I do, live with a broken brain, sometimes I don't know if I'm real or not, if what I'm experiencing at that moment is real. There's no way to describe that to someone, or no way to really help you understand what I mean when I say those things, because it's something that you have to be in the unfortunate realm of people who experience it to understand. But my journal is there for me in a way that no person ever can be. Some of my pages are filled with nothing but, I feel the weight of the pen in my hand. I can feel the toothiness of the paper against my nib. I can feel the lubrication of the ink that's coming out of my pen. I notice that this is happening This is how my sheets feel on my arms and my elbows. This is how my socks feel on my toes right now. And I can go on for pages and pages and pages of things that I am writing to confirm to myself that in that very moment I am existing, that I'm real, and what is around me is real. Sometimes I have those types of moments, and they're not fun to have. But if I didn't have my journal, I know that getting through them would mean having to take a pill or something to calm that aspect or that emotion, to quell that. And I don't always want to have to, I mean, I have them in case I desperately need them, and I am okay. Like I totally have, you know, medication acceptance. You know, I know what I need to be on and what I need to stay on, and I accept that about myself. But I don't always want to have to reach for something that I may be able to work out on my own. And so that's where my journal becomes my touchstone of reality, basically. If anybody ever picked up my journal and just started reading it, I would probably be so embarrassed. The things that I write are the ramblings of quite possibly a very disturbed mind. It is what it is. But it's my mind and it's my journal, and I don't think my kids will ever want these. God help them. I don't hope they would never want to read any of them. But if at some point in the future I were to donate them to the Journal Museum, then they would be there and be a record of someone who journaled every day, who had these types of mental illness. And what more people who have broken brains should do this, because mental health is important, and embracing where you are in your mental health is so much of it's so much more, even more important than embracing like where you are in your life right now as far as your age. Like I'm embracing my beginning of my 40s, but embracing and being aware of and understanding this part of me that's broken is more important than that. And I'm okay with it being broken, because it is. It's not always, my brain's not gonna work properly. Even with all this medicine that I take, it's not gonna ever work neurotypically. And I'm okay with that too. And that's why these things right here, and my pens and my inks, you know, to make it an enjoyable tactile experience. That's why these things are my touchstone in my life. They are, I don't know what I'd do without them. And that's the short and long of it. I hope I've answered questions. If you have any more questions, please leave them down below and I will answer them. If you like this video at all, if I have helped or given you any kind of insight in any way, just please leave me a like, a little thumbs up there. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. I would absolutely adore that. And if you found any value in this video, if you want to say, hey Claire, you did a great job, here's a tip. You can follow my Ko-Fi link that's in the description and leave a little tip there. Anything would be lovely, and it will help my channel tremendously. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you nothing but amazingness and awesomeness and greatness. And again, thank you.